Miriam Slozberg here of Miriam Reads Tarot, and I hope you're doing well. So today we're going to talk about how the Enneagram fits in with the Zodiac. So people are quite familiar with the Myers-Briggs personality model. However, the personality model that is becoming more popular and more people are showing an interest in is the Enneagram. So more people that study metaphysics are studying a model that is more fitting with what their interests lie in, which again is the Enneagram. So the Enneagram means 9, as the Ennea part in Greek suggests that, and the gram is a drawing or model. So this model has been studied for a long time, and over the decades it has gotten a lot more attention and people are gravitating towards it. So the Enneagram shows 9 different personality types that each one of us possess. Additionally, this has been a tool for helping people to get a better understanding of what works for their personality type and what doesn't work. So this model has given people the ability to understand themselves better, which leads to self-improvement and has given them a way to understand others and why they behave the way that they do. So in other words, the Enneagram helps bring more empathy. And what does this have to do with astrology? Everything. So I will tell you about the 9 personality types of the Enneagram model and the planets and signs that are associated with them. So let's start with type 1 on the Enneagram model. So type 1 is the reformer, ruled by Virgo and Mercury. So this is the personality type. It's known as the reformer for a reason, because those who fit in this one are those who are very detail-oriented, and they want things to be organized and in order. So they don't like anything that's less than perfect, which is why the other name for this type is the perfectionist. So those that have this type are known to be very nitpicky and only want to go by the rules because it's the proper way of doing things. So the planet and sign that rule this personality type is Mercury and Virgo, which is not a surprise since Virgo is about doing work, providing a service, and being detailed-oriented and analytical. Okay, so that's type 1. Now let's talk about type 2. Type 2 is the helper, ruled by the moon and Cancer. So this type is called the helper for a reason, and those who fit into this mold are the types that want to literally help others in need. And they would drop everything that they are doing to help them. This can mean they will be there for a friend in need while they put their own plans at the back burner. And it's a stereotype for this type who fit in this mold. That's the stereotype is baking cookies for those who just want to make them feel better. However, they are overly emotional as well, and they become very upset if they feel that their efforts have not helped them, haven't helped them become more appreciative. So the helper is associated with the moon and Cancer, and this is an emotional and maternal planet and sign. This particular Enneagram type, if they don't feel they're appreciated, they get really upset and they make you know about it. So, and that's something that Cancer is known to do as well. Okay, so let's go to type 3, the performer, ruled by the Sun and Leo. So those who have the personality type are either called the performers or achievers. They're highly competitive and want to be the best at what they do, which can mean they can go for anything, whether it involves their career or their appearance. They want to be seen as the best in their social circles and are striving to keep climbing to the top no matter what it takes. So they want to be the best at what they do because it helps feed their ego, and the planet and sign that's associated with this type is the Sun and Leo. The performer wants to be in the spotlight because they want to be recognized for being the best at what they do. Okay? And that's what Leo is known for as well. So now let's move to type 4, the Individualist, ruled by Neptune and Pisces. So those who have this type are incredibly creative and intuitive. However, they have a tendency to be overly emotional and melancholic. Can't talk today. So they feel very different and are very unique indeed, which they see both as a curse and a blessing. They often call themselves misfits. They tend to make mountains out of molehills, and they can be quite irrational as far as when they are really at their lowest and believe that others are purposely starting to hurt them. That's when they're really irrational. So the planet and sign that's associated with this type are Neptune and Pisces. Neptune is intuitive, creative, but also represents delusions, and Pisces is all about love of the art and psychic ability. However, it is known that being irrational is associated with that sign too. So, let's now move over to type 5, the Investigator, ruled by Uranus and Aquarius. So those who have this personality type are the ones that are quite detached and constantly needing intellectual stimulation. They never want to be in the way and are constantly observing others from a distance. They are the ones who are frequently researching anything that they find interesting. The planet and sign that rules this personality type are Uranus and Aquarius, due to the fact that it's detached by nature, innovative, and intelligent. So there you go. Alright, let's go to type 6, the Loyalist, ruled by Saturn and Capricorn. Also called the loyal cynic, by the way. So those who are of this personality type are known to be anxious by nature and very limiting as far as who and what they will trust. However, once they find a reason to trust a person or a belief system, they will attach to it for good. They're very cynical by nature, and the planet and sign that rules this type are Saturn and Capricorn. So the reason for that is because the Loyalist type is restrictive by nature. Okay. So now let's go to type 7, the Enthusiast, ruled by Jupiter, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So this type is known to be extremely positive, outgoing, and adventurous. Sorry. They don't like to stay in the present, and they're always looking forward to some kind of potential fun. So they tend to take on a lot of roles because they feel unstoppable, and they're really excellent multitaskers. So they're enthusiastic about life, and this is why the type is ruled by Jupiter as well as Sagittarius. The nature of the planet and the sign, it's all about expansion, seeking adventure, and positivity. Pisces also rules this type because of the fact that they tend to take on more than they can handle, and it's all about lack of boundaries, which is what Pisces also represents. So, let's go to type 8, the Challenger, ruled by Pluto, Mars, Aries, and Scorpio. The Challenger type, it's the one that are in control and will not take orders from anyone else. They are powerful and have a tough exterior. They're full of energy and are always motivated to do something and will not back down when it comes to being faced with challenges. Those with this type would take on any challenge by the horn and show it who's boss. Okay, so they have a fiercely protective side as well for the ones they care about and for the ones who they see who are vulnerable, such as children, the elderly, the sick, the disabled, and animals. So the planets that rule this type are Mars and Pluto due to its energetic and powerful nature. And the signs that rule this type are Aries and Scorpio. Scorpio is a sign that rules extremes and being overprotective, and that's a trait that Scorpio has. And Aries is all about energy, and they're the most powerful type for sure. They're the leaders, and there's a reason for that. Okay, now let's go to type 9, the Peacemaker, ruled by Venus, Libra, and Taurus. So those who have this type are those who want to make peace with everyone and also do what they can to avoid conflicts. They have a hard time saying no, and they also have a hard time making decisions. So those who are of this type are kind-hearted, but they can seem somewhat lax and stubborn, as they're just very set in their ways. So the planet that rules this type is Venus, due to the fact that it's a sociable and peace-loving planet. The signs that rule this type are Libra and Taurus, and Libra is about fairness and wanting peace, and Taurus is also the sign that rules stability, which is what this type is seen as, stable but also stubborn. So even though the personality types of the Enneagram match the planets and the zodiac signs, do not mean that just because you are one particular sun sign that your personality is the matching type on the Enneagram. Remember, you have your moon and rising sign that play a role, and that plays in your Enneagram type as well. So with that said, you would be if you would be someone with an Aries sun and a Pisces moon, you could be more like a 4 than an 8, which also depends on the rest of your personal horoscope. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, and it was a pleasure. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll be with you very soon. Take care.